When you're planning for your family's future, do not leave your house to your kids. So many great parents want to do the right thing and have their kids inherit their house through a will or gift it to them before they pass away. But these are the exact blunders that lead to disaster. It's a common tragedy, and one that will have your kids dealing with legal nightmares after you're gone. But don't worry, I'm going to explain exactly why these are such big mistakes and take you step by step how to do it the right way. Your house is way too precious to put it at risk just because you wanted to be a good parent, and with the right tips from yours truly, your kids will be set up and you will have the peace of mind you are looking for. Before we talk about mistakes, I want to say this clearly. If you plan to leave your house to your kids, you are not doing anything wrong. You are doing what you were told. Parents hear advice like, just put it in your will, add your kids to the deed, gift it now so it's easier later. These ideas sound loving. They sound simple. They sound responsible. But the law does not work on intentions. It works on rules. And these rules can hurt families when no one explains them. So let's go through the biggest mistakes. Mistake number 1, gifting the house creates a tax disaster. Many parents think it's smart. I'll give the house to my kids now. That way there's no problems later. But gifting the house is one of the worst things you can do. Here's why. When you gift your house during your lifetime, your kids inherit the cost basis. That means they inherit the price you paid for the house. Let me make this simple with an example. Let's say you bought the house for $200,000. Years later, it's worth $900,000. If you gift the house to your kids while you're alive, their tax starting point is still $200,000. Now let's say they sell the house after you die. That means there's a $700,000 gain or more. And that gain is taxable. You didn't gift them a house, you gifted them a huge tax bill. And most kids don't have the cash to pay that tax. So what happens? They are forced to sell or take on debt or fight with each other. This happens even when everyone had good intentions. People think gifting saves taxes. Most of the time, it does the opposite. Mistake number 2, leaving your house in a will means probate. Now let's talk about this second mistake. Leaving the house to your kids in a will. A will does not avoid probate. A will guarantees probate. Probate is a court process. A judge is in charge. Forms must be filed, deadlines must pass. Nothing moves fast. Probate is slow. It often takes years or more. Probate is expensive. Legal fees add up quickly. And probate is public. Anyone can see what you owned. And all of this happens while your kids are grieving. And what happens to the house during probate? The house is stuck. Your kids cannot sell it. They cannot refinance it. They cannot move forward. They must wait for the court's permission. I've seen families miss good markets. I've seen houses sit empty. I've seen stress tear families apart. All because the house went through probate. Mistake number 3, gifting the house means you lose control. This one really scares people when they understand it. If you gift your house to your kids while you're alive, it's no longer fully yours. That means their problems can become your problems. If your child has debt, creditors can come after your house. If your child gets sued, a lien can be placed on your home. If your child gets divorced, the house can become part of the divorce. And here's the part most parents don't realize. If you want to sell the house, you need their permission. If you want to refinance, you need their permission. You can lose control of your own home while you're still living in it. That is not protection, that's risk. So what is the right way? Here is the good news. There is a right way to do this, and it will protect you and your kids. The solution is a revocable living trust. How does a revocable living trust protect your house? Well, it does a few important things. First, you keep full control. You live in the house. You can sell it, you can refinance it, you can change your mind. Nothing changes while you're alive. Next, the house avoids probate. If the trust is done right and the house is titled correctly, your kids do not have to go to court, which means no judge, no delays, no public record. Third, your kids get tax protection. When you pass away, assets in a revocable living trust get a step up in basis. That means the tax value resets. So instead of inheriting your old purchase price, your kids inherit the value at your death. That can save them hundreds of thousands in taxes. Fourth, everything stays private. No court file, no public list of assets, just clear instructions. So why is this better than gifting or a will? Let me say this clearly. A trust is not about giving the house away early. It's about protecting the house properly. You stay in control, your kids stay protected. How to do this the right way? At a high level, this is how it works. You create a revocable living trust. You move the house into the trust. You name the right people to step in later. That's it. But the details do matter. If the trust is done wrong or the house is not titled correctly, this plan can fail. Some final thoughts. Most parents who make these mistakes are loving parents. They just didn't get clear advice. Leaving your house outright to your kids creates taxes, delays, and risk. Protecting your house the right way creates more peace. Your house isn't just an asset, it's safety, it's stability, it's a legacy, and it deserves protection. If this video made you pause, that's a good thing. Most parents never realize how risky it is to leave a house the wrong way until it's too late. And at this point, you may be thinking, okay, I get it, but how do I do it the right way? Or even, should I just make a trust online? And I want to say this honestly because you might think I'm biased as a lawyer. But here's the truth. Lawyers actually make more money when people create online trusts. Why? Because when those plans fail, families end up in probate. And probate means court fees and attorney's fees. I don't want your family to end up there. That's why I made another video called The Top 5 Reasons Not to Use LegalZoom for a Living Trust. I'll link that video here.